Good morning from Europe. March 2, Monday, the first trading day of the month, and Sahura will be with you with the short market update. We will see what's going on in the markets, what's happened and what's happening, the overall checking of the market, geopolitical news, and economic data. While we are talking about the market updates, and these days there is nothing to talk but uh, to start, I mean, actually, we can start. There's nothing to start our conversation and our updates, but with geopolitical tensions in Middle East. Middle East, uh, Middle stations started on Saturday. Actually, it didn't start on Saturday. It started long ago. If you follow our updates, you can understand and what's going on. On Friday update, we talked last Friday update. We talked that, and I mentioned that we are so close to start the war, the actual war, which started on Saturday morning with the first attack on Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, and he is killed and dead now with the direct attack of Israel and Israel and American attacks and missiles, while they were not waiting for the attack at that time. Probably they were waiting for the attack to start on a Saturday evening or Sunday evening, not at the early Saturday at 9 a.m. Whatever. The war started, and it's very hardly, very dangerous in this very dangerous way. Continues, we can say in a better way, because Iranian, after their supreme leader killed, started to react aggressively, bombing all the countries from Indian Sea, from Oman to Cyprus, and this big area, big area, just excluding the Turkey, in this big area, they're opening a new and very big, we can say somehow, a enemy for themselves. So many enemy for themselves, and now this it takes the wars to a very dangerous level. For sure, the market got affected of that, while Americans say that they bombed already thousands of goals, and they are going to attack to the other thousands of the other places, and they will let the people in Iran to start a new government, to find a new government and run the new administration for themselves. But before that, they need to attack more places. Let's see what's happening and what will be happening. Anyhow, the risk in the market is so high, and the market risk is it is very market is in its very higher levels. Whatever it happens, for sure, we have to understand the market. We have to follow the news and updates as well. Since the tensions going on in the Middle East, for sure, it affects the oil and energy market as well as the other markets such as CFM markets and the US dollar. Let's first check the economic data, then we will go to the charts and we'll see the effects of these geopolitical tensions on the markets as well. Today on the economic calendar, it's a holiday in South Korea, but on other economies, we will have manufacturing PMI numbers. Today is the PMI day, especially the manufacturing PMI day. So far, we had numbers from Australia, S&P Global manufacturing PMI in Australia slightly eased from 52.3 to 51, but in other economies, we had a better progress. Sorry. In Japan, we had S&P 500, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI increasing from 51.1 to 53. In India, S&P Global or HSB India Manufacturing PMI increased from 55.4 to 56.9. In Russia, Manufacturing PMI increased from 49.4 to 49.5. In Yeah, that's the move. The S&P the yeah, in Turkey, manufacturing PMI from 48.10 increased to 49.30. This is the manufacturing PMI numbers that we had so far. However, home price index in United Kingdom also increased 0.3% monthly in February with 1% annually, showing that the inflation risk in United Kingdom is slowing down, and that will help and let the Bank of England to cut the rates in March meeting at March 18 or 17 or 18. They're going to have a meeting, and that's most probably they will cut the rates in that time. The German retail sales fell by 0.9% again in January. One more time, we're talking about maybe we're talking about this retail sales and inflation in the German say that as mentioned before, the retail sales is very low, and that tells us why the GDP is lower in European economies and why the inflation is lower in European economies because consumers they're not ready to spend their money. You can see that retail is falling by 0.9%, especially in January, the first month. It's very, I mean, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. GDP in Turkey in the fourth quarter increased only 3.4%, much less than 3.7% in the third quarter, and expectations of 3.5%. Later today, we're gonna have the most important number is the manufacturing PMI numbers. We're gonna have them from most developed and developing economies. We are expecting to see slightly positive numbers in manufacturing sector in February. Mostly the numbers will be in February. As also we're gonna have that's gonna be the European economies and also American economies, including United States, Mexico, and Brazil as well. While we are going to have the PMI numbers, we shouldn't forget about the mortgage approvals and generally the mortgage market data from United Kingdom. We are expecting to see slightly better numbers and slightly improvements in the mortgage rate as the market expecting for the rate cut. So that can increase the demand for the mortgage that most probably as they're expecting for the lower rates in the next months. Let's see what's gonna happen, but the market expecting to see slightly better activities in the mortgage rates in United Kingdom. That's yeah, that's most numbers, most important numbers that we're expecting to see today. Before checking the calendar, before checking the chart, I have to. I'm going to show you the some numbers. 10 years bond rates in United States, which fell to 93.96 earlier in the last trading hours of on Friday, started the week lower than 4%, but we are expecting with the current situation, we are expecting to see again 3.96 to increase towards 4% again in the next days. In the future markets, while the US market will open just like in 7 or 8 hours, we're going to have we can see the futures markets falling sharply. Dow Jones more than 1%, S&P 500 1.1%, Nasdaq around 1.4%. The same condition we can see in the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, you can see the screen numbers here, but the Bitcoin fell to $63,000 at the weekend. Now slightly higher, but generally, cryptocurrency market also they are in a negative trend, in a downward trend. In Asian market also, you can see the effect of this geopolitical tensions. Asian Dow Jones 1.8%, almost 1.9%. Nikkei in Japan 1.3%. Hang Seng in Hong Kong more than 2%. Shanghai slightly increased by 0.4%, 0.5%. But stock markets in Singapore, India, and other Asian economies, all they are falling down, same as Australia and New Zealand. Let's check the charts. What we can see in the chart is also showing what's happening here. You can see that as always, we are checking the charts and updates. Let's open the chart. We usually start our updates with the VIX. As you can see, the VIX is again above 22, showing that the market risk is so high. And this higher risk in the market, it means that the safe havens will be in demand and the risky markets will be under pressure. So that's what we can see here. That's why you can see US dollar index also in the demand, 98 point almost 3. US dollar in this kind of a situation acts as a safe haven demand, especially because emerging markets currencies they takes more they receive more stress, they receive more pressure in this period, and that can increase the demand for the US dollar. Generally, that's why US dollar index increasing in this kind of the situation or situation similar like that. Despite sharply increasing in the US dollar index, you can see the gold price also increasing with more than almost 3%, almost 3% increasing in the gold price around 5,290, around 5,400. Market expecting about 5,400 and between 5,400 and 5,600, especially if the war continues. Same situation you can see in the silver market. You can see the silver price around $95, and that's increasing. On the other hand, the gas price after tensions in the Middle East, which is probably can ban the gas export from Qatar, the countries in the Persian Gulf. That can put the pressure in energy market and increase the gas price at least for a short term. That's why you can see the gas price increasing towards $3, while it was around $2.85. Last trading day of the previous week. That increased the oil price as well. Oil prices started the week around $80, slightly full, and now we can see again increasing towards $72. If you remember earlier in the last week, I told that since the market already is $10 above the normal price, if the war starts, we can see probably prices around maximum around $75, $76, $10 more above, which was around $66. We had $10 already priced in the prices. If something happen in the market, if something happen in the region, if we have the geopolitical tensions or the war, maximum price we can see was around the $10 more. OPEC started to increasing the supply, so most probably we will not have a shortage in the supply, and Hormuz also will open, and Persian Gulf also will be ready to ship the oil and gas. In the stock market, as mentioned, most stocks markets are under pressure. Use S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones. All of them they are under pressure. Same negative situation as mentioned. We can see in Asian markets, and that can continue most probably in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin is under pressure. Even thought is slightly increased from a weekend low, but again, it's under pressure, and generally the trend is down 65,900, and that can continue pressure lower. That's what's happening in the market and what we're expecting to see. Hope it was useful for you. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.